What up? It's D&D in the building. Purdue power. No ceiling. Yeah. Double D back, that's Derek and Dalton. Talking gold blood, Mackie been molten. Black and gold dreams, banners we folding. Paint crew loud, every rim gets swollen. Stats so clean, you think it's a scheme. History books get Purdue screen. From humble to E-Day, legends on replay. We run through Mars like it's just another weekday. Double the energy, talking that legacy. Boiler boys cooking, no recipe. Microphone magic, rivalry static. We breaking it down, keep it cinematic. You want the heat, better tune in fast.
Hello, welcome back to the Double D Podcast. My name is Derek. As always, this is my co-host Dalton. We have been absent for a little bit here since the PJ Thompson interview. Hopefully anybody who watched that enjoyed it. If you haven't already checked it out, go check it out. It is pinned to the top of our YouTube page. It was about an hour-long interview with PJ, and I think a lot of good things came out of it, and I've seen a couple other podcasts kind of reference it. So that at least lets me know that we asked at least some good questions and got some decent information out of it. So we're going to kind of hit on some topics tonight that, have happened since then with some signings, some schedule releases, kind of what we're thinking, what we're hearing, and, just kind of go around the horn. And this shouldn't be a crazy long one, but again, we always say that and it always goes way longer. So feel free to pop in the chat, say hi. If you haven't already, of course, please like and subscribe. We're on our way to 400 subscribers. So it's been a fun journey, and hopefully we get credentialed this coming year so we can get you more and more content. We're hoping the PJ connection kind of helps with that a little bit too. So without further ado, we'll jump right into Isaiah Hill. Obviously, Purdue lands its highest recruit ever under the Matt Painter era. Obviously, people will say, Big Dog was a bigger recruit. Obviously, he was the best player in the country when he came to Purdue. But in the Painter era, in the new era with all the scouting and rankings and everything, he is the highest recruit. 6'11", big guy, very mobile, very agile, tons of athleticism, but also pretty scrawny. If we're just being really honest, we talked about it today when we played golf today, and a little bit of that Flory kind of vibe from him. I think he's a little bit better shooter than Flory, but that athleticism, bouncy, a lot of people are going to think he's a one and done type guy. I don't think he is personally, but I'm going to throw it over to you, Dalton, because you've actually seen the guy play. You have some connections with his high school team and some other players on the team. So what are your thoughts on Isaiah Hill, and, how do you think he's going to fit at the Purdue program?
I like Isaiah's game. I think he is a baller. I'll start off by saying he's a very good inside player that can develop into a shooter. Maybe not as much of a shooter right now, but he is a rim protector. And, right now in the EYBL circuit, which is the highest AAU circuit that there is out there, he's been dominant at times. I know there's a lot of turmoil going on right now with some of the players on that team. I won't dive too far into it, but there's a lot of egos on his EYBL team, and a lot of really good players like Cam Mercer just signed with Cincinnati. He's another kid on that team. You've got a bunch of players getting D1 offers all over the place. Right now through the EYBL circuit, he is averaging 10.5 points per game. He has not hit any threes yet in this EYBL season. So like I was saying, probably a shooter in development, but I mean, with Brantley and Painter, I don't foresee him being much of a shooter. But he did in their game last weekend against AB Elite, had 20 points. Kid can score. He is a very big, he loves his mom. We'll say that. And mom had a big time effect on him attending Purdue. So mom really likes Matt Painter. Who doesn't? I love Matt Painter as well. So mom is obviously intelligent. But yeah, Isaiah, he can get emotional. He has some tendencies of Trey Kaufman-Wren from what I've watched on the court. And I don't know how much that is just being in the EYBL, being under so much pressure, there's college scouts in the stands at all times. These kids are going hard. They're playing 4 to 5 games a weekend. Right now, they're in Kansas City, Missouri, tipping off. My work phone is ringing. Mark, that is my boss. Let's see what my boss says. What's up, Mark? I'm on the podcast right now. What do you got going? What's the EYBL Insider?
I'm working on your special guest, so that was my update. So it's kind of coincidental.
Okay.
I might have it solidified for you, but I'll give you details later.
Let's go, man. You're on the pod right now. We are live. This is my boss, Mr. Welker. Everyone in the chat say hello. So we are working on something big for you guys right now, and Mr. Welker is helping put that in to get the wheels spinning on that. So you guys are tipping in an hour, right? 2 hours. So you heard it here first. Go over to the EYBL site. You can check out Isaiah playing in 2 hours. So it is free to watch. We'll probably link that up, but yeah, tell Mac and the boys good luck.
Will do, and I'll be in touch.
All right.
Good show, and I'll be in touch with you.
Appreciate you, Mark. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Some incredible timing. That is the connection. And yeah, he's trying to get Purdue's newest recruit on the show. So hopefully we can get him and get
That's
some
hilarious. That is
some
funny.
A first Purdue interview. If you watch the Teague interview, it just really didn't get much out there. It was very rehearsed sounding. So we'll hopefully try to, if we get him on, have some more stuff we'll try to get out of him.
I'm also, just for like comfortability's sake, I'm probably going to pair that podcast with Mac Welker, who has offers from Ball State, Oral Roberts. His offers are starting to pile up. So just for Isaiah's comfortability's sake, we're going to talk more about what recruiting's like, things like that, with a couple of kids going through it right now at a high level. I think it will be pretty interesting for everyone, at least for me.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more like, almost like inside the arc type of thing of seeing what it's like from a high school standpoint, being a big time recruit. And, Isaiah, excuse me, obviously a really big recruit. Mac, a little bit more on the, low to mid major level, but still, these guys are going through it, and it's going to be really interesting to watch. And a couple comments, he is only 16. He is a very young, about to be senior in high school. So he will come into Purdue young. And, what are your kind of, I know you're responding to him, but what are your kind of thoughts? Do you think he's going to be a kid that comes in, you got DJ in front of him, you got Sinan in front of him, Raleigh. Is he going to be a kid that comes in and has an immediate impact, or is he going to kind of just maybe get 5-10 minutes? Red shirt, is he going to be ready to go right out of the get-go?
Ooh, that's tough, man. Senior season is going to tell a lot at Pike, with Jahari and himself, who are two very high-ranked recruits. I would say, in my personal opinion, he will be a 10-minute guy a game. 5-star or not, you're talking transfer portal teams built in the Big Ten with bigs that are insanely good and have put their time in. I have seen DJ actually being posted on some NBA scouting reports for next year's draft. I think we would need to see a huge jump out of him, but if he does, that would clear a lot of space for Mr. Hill to make the jump early. He can do it, and I believe that he can play at that level, like these EYBL games are at that level. So Paint knows best, man. I'm gonna trust that man.
If I'm I'm gonna trust Paint,
Yeah, man. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Brad Prather, thanks for joining the show, Brad. John Johnson, do you agree with this? Do you get any of those vibes from him? Because for me personally, Juwan Johnson was like vastly underrated as a basketball player. Like, the guy could shoot. He was an insane shot blocker, could score around the rim, probably one of the best defenders in Purdue history from a center standpoint. do you see that kind of upside from Hill? Obviously, I don't expect him. Juwan wasn't like that day one, but do you kind of see that?
I don't know, man. Jawan was such a big body, and Isaiah's he's very slender. He makes DJ probably look like he is a muscular beast.
Yeah.
Let me address Rickus on this. I'll disagree. Considering he is averaging 10 points a game right now and 8 rebounds in EYBL. And there are major levels to basketball. I will say that from watching the EYBL, from watching Purdue games live, there are levels to this. And they are big levels. We're not talking like high school to rec ball. Like these dudes put their lives into this, and like you get some fifth year seniors, 22, 23-year-olds, they're gonna put a hurting on him. You know, do I think he can hang? I absolutely do. I mean, the dude's 7 foot and he's got rim protecting abilities, but when you're getting back down by a Deamara, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, I think for me, like Hill, again, somebody mentioned it. He's coming in, basically, he'll be a 17-year-old when he gets to Purdue, okay, until August. So he won't turn 18 until right when his freshman year is about to start at Purdue. And I think there's going to be some maturation that needs to happen, not only from a basketball and physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint. You know, you've mentioned turmoil in some of the teams. Like, if you come from that history, it's not like he's the problem. We're not saying that at all whatsoever. It's just like you haven't been around a culture quite like this, and nothing's guaranteed. And we can kind of walk our way into this comment here. Saluki says a lot of talk about Kevin Savage coming to Purdue, but wouldn't be worried about playing time with Ertl just being a sophomore. So I've heard this a few times. I think if you've watched enough Kevin Savage interviews, him play, he isn't worried about anybody being in front of him. That's kind of why he's coming to Purdue, because Painter basically is going to tell anybody that comes here, hey, whoever wins the spot gets the spot. Nobody's guaranteed anything. And to a guy like Kevin Savage, that's music to his ears. He goes, wait, so if I'm just better than this dude, it's mine. And I think that he is a type of kid who believes he is better than whoever's in front of him. And I think Ertl's the same way, so it'll be a hell of a battle. Now, what I'm more concerned with Savage, I don't think he's a freshman year type of player anyway. He might be a role player, but you're thinking when he comes in, you're going to have senior CJ. You're going to have, assuming he doesn't go to the draft, Omer, junior year Omer. You're going to have sophomore year Ertl. Like Antoine West will be you're going to have a stacked backcourt.
Yeah.
So if he does come in and play, dude, then we got a murderer. And we got a Savage, at that point. So I do think he's going to come to Purdue from what I'm hearing. It sounds that way, but I don't think it's at all a done deal yet, like some people are claiming. I think that he's getting more and more and more interest as time goes on. The only thing that's saving Purdue is that he is small. So guys like Duke, these type of teams are not going to go after him because they don't want a 5'11" point guard. They want a 6'4" point guard because that's the way of basketball now. But have you seen much about Savage? Like, what are your thoughts on him?
I've watched a little bit of highlights. I haven't really dove into it. He is in the SSB, right? He plays in I think he plays in the SSB, which is the Adidas League. So the level of competition is still there. I mean, he's the number 35 overall recruit in the country. Yeah, he's in the 3 SSB, which is...
Yeah, I was just looked it up, 3 SSB.
I mean, he put up 29, 25, and 18.
He's nasty. He's like Luke Ertl, but like a little more hot. Like he will dunk on dudes, two-handed.
I don't see the passing. But like Rick has said, like these guys are featured sometimes on the team. I will disagree with that though. Like where he said Hill isn't featured. Hill is featured. Whenever Hill is on the court, he is the man. And I get that you say there's a lot of scorers, but he's coming to Purdue. We just went through who Purdue has. So you're talking a lot of scorers. You're talking
Purdue's very score heavy at the guard. Like what we need is a guy. You want to separate, I think, right now at Purdue as a guard, you become an elite passer.
Yeah. We need
like
that.
a Braden level, like that, whether that's Omer or Ertl, if one of them becomes the pass guy, then they'll get the time. They'll play them together. They don't care.
Yeah, I that would be fun to watch. Just fast-paced, crazy basketball. Now
I think it'd be fun. Run like a little 4 guard with if DJ really took a huge leap, DJ in the middle, and just run 4 guards and just run.
Yeah.
Or even go Kaden at the 5 and just like, whatever, dude. We're not going to get a rebound, but we're going to shoot it 50 times every half. I wanted to hit a couple. We got a lot of comments coming in.
Yeah.
Ripset said he can see Hill having more. So this is kind of where I feel. I think he's going to come in freshman year, be a backup to either the 4 or 5, and kind of just be like, hey, go protect the rim, bang bodies, catch lobs. He's going to be, to me, like what freshman DJ was supposed to be before he got injured. Like, I think he's going to come in. He's just going to catch lobs and he's going to bang bodies and he's going to be fast. He'll be a change of pace at the center. But we'll kind of see. Where there's a lot of projecting here. We're also 2 years out. We don't know if anybody on this team is going to stick around. There's a new landscape of college basketball. Like we keep believing, and we'll talk about this later because this was a question I had for you. But we keep believing Purdue will always be this way. But is there going to come a time where Purdue has a mass exodus for whatever reason? Don't know. Saluki said we're definitely guard heavy, need athletic wings. Knipple would be awesome. Okay, I wanted to mention this because Knipple, we were in a group chat with some other guys that are kind of insiders, and they said today that Duke had offered him $1.5 million, and Michigan told him basically they'll match any offer he gets. That, to me alone, if that is even being floated, then Purdue's probably out of this picture because Painter's not going to give an incoming freshman that kind of money. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I'm sure Hill got paid, but he didn't get $1.5 million. And if he did get $1.5 million, damn. But I just don't see Painter paying a guy that much money. Now, if the kid turns out, he has said in interviews, Knipple, that he does not want to necessarily go down his brother's path of Duke. But now you've got Duke, you've got the reigning national champions, and Dusty May, who I'm sure is a great recruiter, and he just seems like a guy who really pushes culture while he destroys every culture he touches. Kind of like a silent terrorist to some degree. I wonder if we could go back and clip all the things we've said about Dusty May.
Epstein Island.
Epstein Island, he's a silent terrorist. I'm sure we've said other things in some of those Michigan fight episodes. But yeah, I think that I don't think we're going to get Knipple, but I mean, crazier shit has happened, I guess. Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna get back to these comments. Ripset, love you, Ripset. What's up? Savage lives up to his name. Kid looks like another fierce ass competitor. I agree. The mental for the future is going to be crazy. I think, to me, and I'll get your opinion on this too. Like, this is as excited as I've been going into a season in a long time, and it's not because I think we're going to be number one. Like last year was all like expectation excitement. Like, it wasn't really about watching the team. It was like, we might win a title. Once I'd watched enough games to go, we're probably not going to, I really didn't like watching it that much. I loved all those players. It just wasn't exciting basketball to me. Like, every once in a while I'd get an awesome Braden pass, great. But the rest of the game, we had no excitement. I think we're going to have a ton now. We have elite scoring at the guard. We have some guys that we've never seen play. We have some guys fighting for positions. Guys like Antoine West that's been with the program that nobody really knows. Raleigh Burgess, everybody is already counting him out. And I'm like, y'all are nuts. I think Raleigh Burgess is going to be better than Pierce. And maybe he won't get the minutes to prove it, but he will get minutes and he will get his time. What do you think about that?
What do I think about Raleigh Burgess?
No, just the whole idea, like
going into a season with no real expectations.
But just excitement. Like,
I'm stoked about it, man. It was like last year was just getting mad every game. Like, and I tried so hard to be happy, but the wheels kept coming off, man. And it was a bummer sometimes. Like, this year, just to watch all these new players develop and watch how Painter works his magic with real true freshmen and real young guys, and make them competitive against, these stacked 4 to 5 year teams that are bought and paid for, and us compete with them it's a testament to Purdue basketball and the culture that PJ talked about, a lot on the podcast with us. Um, I'm excited, bro. Like, I like these kids. I like Ertl. I've watched him. I really like him. I want to see Omer make a huge jump this year. Um, look like he's not running in peanut butter all the time. That's my thing, dude. I say Omer looks like he's running in peanut butter,
He just
brother.
likes to go slow.
Yeah,
dude.
it's like, dude, you I know you can run faster than that.
It's
I
that
know.
booty ball. He likes to just hold the ball out and put his ass
Come
into
on,
you.
brother. But he's gonna be so good. DJ's gonna be so good. I'm so actually happy after how shitty the fan base was towards DJ
That he
on
came back.
social media that DJ decided to face adversity and fight through it. Yeah, I mean, people were rough
Hard.
on DJ on there.
I mean, I was 100% sure he wasn't coming back with the way his dad was interacting with people.
Yeah.
Like, and for him to come back, you're right, man. What a testament to that guy's loyalty.
Tough
And just
guy.
like, he's saying, hey, I'm gonna make the jump. Don't worry about it.
Right.
And it's not like he thinks like it's my team. No, you've got Sinan coming in. You've got now a 5-star that we just recruited for the following year. Burgess. It's not like it's going to be a walk in the park for him. All right, I'm trying to catch up on some of these comments.
Yeah, run through the comments, dude. We're hot tonight, baby. You guys missed some Boiler basketball, huh?
Yeah, Savage is a baller. I agree. I like this by Rickus. He said Savage is a lot like Kimba. I guess I hadn't put that together, but kind of has the same idea. I don't know that he's Kimba Walker. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But Kimba Walker had a hell of an NBA career and won national titles.
It's a big jump.
But Kevin Savage does have a little bit of that Kimba game to him. Small guy, but like explosive, quick, can shoot it at all 3 levels. Not scared. Like I watched some highlights of him dunking over dudes. He's 5'11". Like that's impressive.
Get up, young blood.
I think you put Luke at the point guard, run Savage at the shooting guard, and he's just completely ignoring Anton West, Omer Meyer if he's back, CJ Cox,
Hold on.
Jakari Harris.
We got to get this kid first. We're way out in front of the cart. The horses are in Kansas and we're in New York right now with that comment.
Exactly. Yeah, he's over here. Purdue lanes a Hill, Savage, and Kager all die. Well, I hope they don't then. I don't want you to die, Rickus.
Take your chances, pal.
Yeah. Purdue was in on Kager early. However, like this is what happens, dude. It's the Purdue effect. Purdue is so good at finding these talented players that aren't being recruited. The second Purdue jumps on them, everybody else is like, whoa, stop. I need 3 guys to go check this guy out. It's almost like Purdue just keeps getting these guys and everybody else is like, all right, no more. Like there's not going to be another Edie and Braden Smith. We're done with it. Like we're not letting you get these guys anymore for nothing. That's how it feels, at least to
Top
me.
secret.
I love this for Brad Prather. Burgess is going to turn heads. I've been saying this for months. Yeah, it's been a big thing we've talked about, man. Like I watched him in warm-ups, dude. He's just different than he was. Like he's in shape.
On Burgess.
We're high on Burgess, dude. And we could be completely wrong. We've been wrong many times. But most of the time, we're not wrong. We're a little closer to right. Yeah, so Luke, you lost 4 stars, 80% of scoring. I'm keeping my expectations low. Hope to be pleasantly surprised. I don't have any expectations. That's how I'm going in this year. I think there's 2 worlds. There's maybe 10 worlds, but there's definitely a world where we are, a top 3 seed. We top 15 team in the country. And there's definitely a world where we're unranked and probably a 6 or 7 seed. I mean, I think our floor is probably about an 8 seed. Like, I don't think we're going to be worse than like 35th in the country. And our schedule, which we'll get into here shortly, is advantageous for us having a good, not necessarily record, but having a good strength of schedule to a point to where, like, even if we lose 10, 11 games in the regular season, we should still be in a good spot. Kind of like this year. I mean, we lost 8 games in the regular season and, ended up being, 2 seed. So we lose 10, 11 next year, we could still be a 4 seed pretty easy.
Amen.
Brad Prather, DJ will be fine. People have short memories. Yeah, Edie Harms. That's the thing people forget, man. All these guys did not come into Purdue and just excel right away. Like, it just wasn't a thing. TKR redshirted. Edey wasn't very good his freshman year. Harms was bad. Haas not good. Couldn't catch a ball if anybody remembers.
Take
And
it
Haas,
easy on my
friend of
boy.
the program. Gave us his personal cell phone number. Great guy.
I just texted Isaac the other day. He's doing well, folks. Just to give you a heads up. That's
Isaac's
a pretty
good dude.
cool thing to say, actually.
yeah. We're getting there. Okay, we're getting there. Savage moved up his timeline. I agree. I think Savage goes Purdue. However, I'm just gonna say this: even if I'm 80%, I would not at all be shocked if he does a last second and commits to a. I'm not gonna say a blue, but I think it'd be like a Cincinnati, not them, but like a West Virginia, somewhere he can go have the ball right away, because he feels to me like a kid who thinks he's got it now, and he might. I just don't know that Purdue is going to give him enough, but he also has said multiple times that he likes that. He likes
Here's
the
a
idea that it's
question
not
for you.
guaranteed.
So if you're a kid like that and you think you're the best, why not go to Purdue, where if you are the best, you are that guy?
And that's why I'm 80%.
Seen. Like, I mean, if you go to practice and you kill everyone, you're gonna play.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Like, I think that's why he's going to come to Purdue. But some guys end up getting, it's not always about the kid. It's about what's around the kid. My dad says it all the time. Like, are the people around him giving him good advice, or are they telling him, hey, go get the bag, go get the bag, go get the bag? Go somewhere you can, like, they might even be saying stupid things like, hey, let's go to West Virginia, dominate, and then we'll go get a huge bag. Because, I mean, without him just becoming Allen Iverson, his NBA future is not crazy high. So a kid like that, I know we're putting cart way before the horse here. Are we back? Hopefully we're back. Just tuned in. He said that right before we went dark.
Yeah,
So
I hope
he's probably like,
back in here.
I'll never watch this again. Why didn't any of these podcasts talk about winning the 3-on-3 tournament? Yeah, I think Kaden Pierce is somebody that I think we've kind of washed over, and probably undeservingly, because I think that, like, there's a world where he's potentially one of our best players next season. And he's going to play the 4. I think PJ made that pretty clear on our podcast that he's a 4. Whether you like that or not, I think that's just the way that it is. And he's definitely going to start to begin the season, I think. So he's one of the only older guys we have. So, what are your thoughts on him? I mean, do you have anything about, like, did you watch any of that 3-on-3?
I did. He's very athletic. And he's very mature, and he's been through a college program. I mean, playing 3-4 years at Princeton, so he knows the ropes. And I don't know. After what happened with Liam Murphy, it always scares me, these guys coming in. Like, you have expectations of these guys, and then they don't live up to them. And you're talking a 6'7" 4 in the Big Ten, and that worries me. But obviously, our coaches saw something in him to go get him, from those high level programs that he had after him. So, we should all just be pretty excited for Mr. Pierce to come in. I wish there was a way we could share this link to the old link.
Yeah.
It seemed like we lost like 7 people, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but yeah, it looks like Benner at the 3. I think Benner will play some 3 and some 4. And it's going to be an interesting pairing, when he plays what. I think there'll be times where Burgess comes in at the 4 and Benner might play the 3. I think there might be times when, I said that backwards. When Burgess comes in and you might see 3 guards, and then when you have somebody like Kaden Pierce at the 4, Burgess might play the 3 to kind of have a little extra size there. So we'll see how that plays out. It's hard to project lineups for next season. One thing I did want to hit on, the Canada trip, they haven't really released a whole lot of information about it, but we should have some chances to see these guys play ahead of time before the season starts with this Canada trip. So I'm excited for that. I don't know what exactly that looks like, what kind of teams we're going to be playing, if we're playing just junk semi-pro Canadian teams or if we're playing like actual real basketball teams. So will be interesting to kind of see that. And if you didn't know, obviously that's something that that we have coming up. I think that's in July, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Canada trip will be great. To see, what how we're running lineups, who's gonna fit where, who's gonna do what, how do we look against subpar level teams. I'm sharing the new link. Dude, this is so embarrassing. It says, "Welcome to our live show."
I know.
Like it's our first podcast, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
so
it happens. This is the problem with technology. All
yeah.
right, let's jump real quick into the schedule. So the schedule was kind of released. So I have the Big Ten schedule pulled up here.
Is
Purdue
it burners?
do it?
Is it boiler burners version?
No, this is from Purdue.
Oh, shout out to the burner.
So we have home against Iowa, Maryland, Northwestern, Nebraska, Ohio State, UCLA, and USC. If you notice, this is the opposite of last year. None of the good teams are only at home. So this year is going to be a rough road in the Big Ten. Our home and aways are Illinois. So we play Illinois twice. IU, who's going to probably be pretty good, and Rutgers, who's never good. So, and then our away-only games are Michigan, Michigan State, Oregon, Wisconsin, Washington, Minnesota, Penn State. So it's going to be a tough year in the Big Ten. I'll put it that way. I don't think there's a world where we go win more than 12 games in this league this year. I just don't see it with how young we're going to be in the schedule that we drew. So what are your thoughts on that schedule just initially hearing it?
It's with how young we are, man, it's going to be a tough year. And our non-con is hard as hell too. I feel the same way as you in the Big Ten. I think 12 wins is a goal this year, a goal. I think floor is 8, ceiling 12. But we'll see how we mesh. I don't know. What do you think? We got the real ones in the chat now. So what do you guys think about this Big Ten schedule? I think it's rough, man. It is a challenging year.
I mean, you got Illinois and IU twice, and then road against Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin, and Oregon. Yeah, AI subscription for sure.
Come on, bro. Hey, don't be mad at the prompts.
Yeah, don't be mad, dude. If you're a good prompter, you're a good prompter. That's just the way it is.
The prompts are heavy, man.
Yeah, I think it's a tough schedule, tough draw. But you know what? Everybody said last year we got a great draw, and what happened? We went 13-7. So I'm not really worried about it. I think good. Give us all the smoke. Give this young group all the smoke. This could be a year where I try to get down to a Michigan game or a Michigan State game because I think it'd be fun. I just want to see a couple more arenas, that I haven't been to, and I think going to Michigan State would be pretty cool.
Well, I guess that means I'm going too.
I say if we can get credentials to go, then even better. But and then some offseason stuff. What's your thoughts on this Yukon preseason game? What a find!
Preseason Yukon.
Can the curse continue? Can we curse Yukon?
Oh, of course. It's gonna happen. I don't know, man. It's real. Musselman had it. Then Pope had it. They had all these expectations this year. Now, granted, they had a ton of injuries. Kentucky.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't play Purdue in a scrimmage. Apparently, Dan Hurley's not as smart as I think he is to schedule that, but you want to play the best, man. You want to know where you're at. So,
hey, Dalton, when you hear the name Ian Happ, what's the first word that comes to your mind?
Who?
That's a pretty good answer. Strikeout. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. What's up, Jameson? Love you, buddy.
Hey, he hopped off 2K for 8 minutes to come in here.
Yeah, he's probably already back out of it. I saw our number
Yep.
went up and then it went back down. So he's
just waiting on me to get off of here. That's
He's
why
like,
he really jumped in.
Yo, can we play some 2K?
Yeah,
guy?
are you
My
ready to
sister's
run,
got a little
dude?
friend here and she's annoying the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That's Rickus Jameson. No, that's Tyone. Jameson Tyone can't throw strikes. My son, no, he couldn't throw strikes either. Doesn't play baseball. But probably could throw at least as many as Jameson Tyone, the way he's been playing. James and I never played baseball.
You know,
see?
you guys had your chance to start your Cubs podcast, so let's not bring
I know.
that
I
in
still got.
here.
I'm ready. Whenever Rick, I told Rickus he's got to push me to do it, and he hasn't done it.
I don't want to talk Cubs, and I don't
Um,
think the Boiler fans in here either do.
the Yukon scrimmage is going to be a fun one. I think that's pretty cool for this young class to get to go do that. And then you've got some pretty high level games in Tennessee, Gonzaga,
Yeah.
Iowa State on the road.
Yeah.
A couple mid majors that are pretty good that we've scheduled. I just think it's going to be this MTE is pretty low class as far as like who's in it,
I'm
but
excited.
it's still a game against potentially DePaul, Oklahoma. Those are still going to be solid, potentially tournament teams.
Those are KenPom top 75 teams right there, two of them.
And a good chance for our young guys to go play some high level competition early.
Yeah.
That they also have a chance to win. It's not like we're going to this tournament that they just started with freaking Duke, Kentucky, Michigan, and then they threw in IU as a blue blood, which is the dumbest thing ever. But I'm excited. I think it's a perfect schedule for us. From a preseason standpoint, you're gonna have some tough games in there, but Gonzaga's a winnable one that could look really good down the road. I think Tennessee's similar. Like, I don't know that we'll beat them, but I think we can hang a little bit, especially early.
Tennessee is pretty heavy this year, bub.
And then Iowa State, they lost a lot, so it'll be interesting to see how they look too. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on these preseason games? Like, is there any that you're circling? Like, I think this is going to be big, or maybe you want to go to, or something along those lines.
I don't know the home and away, so I won't circle any. You know how I am about going to games. I'm kind of fly by the seat of my pants.
Yeah.
Looks like everyone found the stream again, so welcome back in, everybody. I don't know. I would love to go watch a high level game anytime. Like when we went to the Iowa game last year, that was awesome, man. But it's also fun to go watch them play fucking Akron.
Yeah.
Or Oakland. Like every game is fun at Mackey.
Yeah.
You can't not have fun there. It's a great place. I love, how I feel about the atmosphere.
Just so you know, my new golden goose to get on this show is Dan Hurley before the Yukon.
Dan Hurley.
Dude, if I get Dan Hurley on this podcast, it's going to be one of the best moments of my life.
I mean, honestly, it'd be a big interview, man.
it'd be awesome.
I can't, like, the way he coaches reminds me of the way I feel about Shea Gilgeous playing. That's how I feel about Dan Hurley coaching. But I mean that.
Hey, it's good. I don't like watching it, but it is effective.
Aim for the stars. If you miss, you fall on the moon.
Wait, who is he talking about? He's saying
who are we going off on in here?
It's got to be me. Oh.
So let's do our prediction starting lineups now as of May 22nd. I think we did this last month. So give me your starting 5 right now. Off top, you've got 5 seconds.
Wow. Luke Ertl, Omer Meyer, CJ Cox, Kaden Pierce, Daniel Jacobson.
No. All right. Well, that's the show, folks. That's it.
Is that yours?
Yeah, mine's exactly the same. If you don't have that, I would love to hear anybody in the chat why you would disagree with that lineup.
Only one I think you could change is Anton West for one of those 2 guards.
Yeah. But how?
I don't know. I think there's going to be maybe a world where Painter says, I'm not going to start. I want Ertl to back up Omer. And maybe that means West, and he wants more defense. And if you put Cox and West out there at the 2 and 3, you have a lot of perimeter defense. That's kind of my only other thought. Weber, I don't think so. Not right away. Weber would just have to be. I mean, he would have to be so ready physically, and I don't think he is.
West, we'll get there. Got a lot of West believers, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, we showed it, Rickus. We put you up, man. We're not sleeping on Weber. We're realistic.
You're talking about a 6'7" dude that's 170 pounds soaking wet. And I know Fletcher Lawyer was, but when Fletcher Lawyer came in, we did not have depth at the guard position. We do right now.
I get
I know how
The
good he
Big
is.
Ten, man.
I know how good he is, Rick. I think my thing with Weber is he is extremely reliant on moving and shooting, like catching, like Sasha style. And I don't know that we have a point guard capable of running an offense with that guy being like a featured scorer. Like he's not like a Fletcher where he's a catch and shoot guy. Like he can do it off the dribble. I've seen him shoot. He's maybe the best shooter that's ever been recruited to Purdue, and that's coming off Fletcher Loyer leaving. However, that does not mean just because you're a great shooter does not mean you're ready to play Big Ten basketball. From a defensive standpoint, from a physical, like, what else does he bring to the table? Because also Ertl, Omer, Benter, like when we asked PJ who was the best shooter on the team, he said Jack Benter. I'm just saying, with all these other shooters, what does a guy that only shoots bring to the table when everybody else that's CJ, Omer, Ertl, West, they all are shooters?
Purdue is not just offense. Do you know the plays?
Right.
You get cooked on defense. We watched Jaden Ivey get benched. Jaden Ivey. So you're telling me Weber's on Jaden Ivey level? Because I watched Jaden Ivey get pulled out of games for not knowing his defensive positioning. I don't see it. And when you're right, Rickus, I will call you. And I will tell you, I am sorry. If you're right, and if you're not, I'll make fun of you on this podcast.
I'll say this. If Weber is starting for this team, he is really good. Because a guy like that to come in and start with the amount of guards that we have, like that means he basically passes up a junior Jakari Harris. He's passing up either Ertl or Omer, West, CJ. That means he's the third best player in that group, including Benter. Because before they start Weber at 3, they would start Benter at 3. Because Benter's a good rebounder. He's better defensively. We'll see.
For just guessing, you're going pretty hard there, bub.
Yeah, I mean, you were getting pretty upset about it, which is fine. I think is the consensus just that Sinan is just not ready? Because there was a lot of hype, like maybe he's the starting guy, and it's just gone away.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready to start. I think he'll play a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think that summit was a good visualization of Sinan. You're playing with a bunch of one-on-one dudes, ISO ball dudes. He will fit perfectly into a system.
Yeah.
He's a systematic player. He can get up and down. He can shoot. He can handle. He's going to be a great Purdue guy. And I will say that out and out. But when you're playing that style, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you watch Isaiah Hill and EYBL. Like Rick has said, he may not be the exact centerpiece because there's so many guys out there. Those were the guys.
Yeah.
He's never, like, they're all going to get split up onto other teams. So Sinan will be a great Purdue guy. Mark my words. It's going to be fantastic. And Brantley will make him into somebody the Big Ten never wants to face.
Yeah, I mean, we know he's already an elite defender too. So, I think, regardless of who starts for this team, I think it's at least in the beginning of the year going to be a deep team. And then it's probably going to get pretty tight, I think, when it gets serious time. And I think that in the end, if I know Matt Painter, this team ends up being a Omer, CJ, Jakari, Pierce, and DJ. Like, I wish that we would ever go that big, but we won't. I think there's a world where where Jakari is the starter on this team. And that doesn't mean he's going to play starter minutes. He could play 18. But I think because of just his loyalty, Painter really values that stuff, man. I think, like, if I really was like, put your house on this, my starting lineup would be Omer, CJ, Jakari, Pierce, DJ.
Yeah.
But we all want to forget and kind of push back CJ or Jakari just because, rightfully so. He's had a pretty rough career at Purdue so far, but
G
all the
just
guys
didn't blend with the big 3.
Right.
He's a he's a star.
Yeah, I mean,
he's that dude.
He was scored 20 a game, 25 a game in high school.
That's what I'm saying. We don't want to see the Ethan Morton regression, bub. Like,
Yeah, I need to see a lot out of Jakari this year from a scoring standpoint, like attacking. I don't
Yeah.
care, like the defense, great. We have other guys that can play defense. Like, let me see you attack the rim.
My thing is, can we run screens for a guard to get downhill besides the point guard? Like, because with Braden gone, that might be something we do this year, something we see.
Yeah.
Like, everything was catch and shoot this year. Or, feed the interior to Trey. Like, now we don't have as much of that interior presence. Can we run some downhill screens for these guards?
We were talking about Jakari. Rickus is not happy with you calling Jakari a star, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll talk about this 100 more times before the season starts on who's, as we get more information, we'll talk a little deeper in this kind of stuff. But I think for now, what I learned from the PJ interview is we're probably going to start 3 guards again. I thought there was a world Pierce or Benter might start at the 3, and I think Benter might still be an option. But I think in the end, it's going to be 3 guards, Pierce, and a big guy. I just think that's what we're going to do. I think Benner back. I don't think Benner plays a lot of 3. I think some. I think he, like I said, he plays 3 when Pierce is at the 4 some. And that there's a world where he starts because we start Pierce and we just go big at the 3 and 4. And then like I kind of like the idea of a like 2 elite scorers in defender. Like if you could go big without going big if you start Omer, CJ, Benter, Pierce, and DJ. Like you're still big. You're 6'7", 6'6", 6'4", 6'3", 7'4". And then you have guys on the bench that you can bring in for additional size or go a little smaller. So, again, could talk about it all day long, but for now, it's just speculation. And oh God, Rickus not a fan of GH here, buddy.
Fine.
That's fine.
He likes the Cubs too. So
I think it's weird because if you go down Purdue's roster next year, dude, there's 11 guys, I think, and that you really could see playing. That's not going to happen. Nobody plays 11 guys. So that's good. That's the part where when people want to bring up starting lineups and you say guys that I know are going to play, like Jakari, CJ, Benter, these guys will play. That's 3 guys. You have 5 left. DJ is going to play. Omer's going to play. There's 5.
3.
So out of Weber, Ertl, Sinon, Burgess, Weber, or West. That's 5 guys. Maybe 3 of them are going to play. 4 would be very small. Would be 6. Or we didn't even know Pierce. We didn't even say Pierce. So out of those 5, 2 are going to probably play a lot of minutes. Just saying. There's going to be guys that you think are going to play a lot that aren't going to play a lot. Unless we're just going to run line changes hockey style. So
these comments are hilarious.
I've completely went away from the comment section because Rickus has
everyone in the chat. Thanks for being here again. It's been a while, man. We planned on doing these weekly. It's been tough. There's nothing to talk about. Like that's the hardest part, dude, is like honestly, people from Purdue Twitter are just getting in arguments on Twitter just to keep themselves busy.
Yeah, and I mean, as much as I appreciate like some of like what Sleepers does with every single thing that happens, they put out a video. We're just not gonna. We don't have time for that. We don't have the team around us to be able to do that. And like, do you really want to hear 2 random people, come on here and talk about what somebody said for 10 minutes? I don't want to do that. So. If you like those kind of videos, great. We're probably never going to put out 8-minute videos of like reacting to every single thing that happens in Purdue history.
Yeah.
It's just not fun for me. Like,
well, come on.
I'll let you have your own feelings. For the people that need to be told what to feel, they can watch those videos. Like, and I watch some of them. I think there's information to get from them. But yeah, like hopefully we can get some of these other guests on, like Hill. It's tough in the off season too because. Like, I know these guys are busy all the time. They don't want to be bothered right now, so I don't want to bother them. And there's only so much we can get on here and ramble about. Now, I mean, I could ramble for a while, but
hey, we forgot to wish Coach Katie a happy birthday yesterday. He hit the
Yes.
big 9-0, so happy birthday to the legend. Get a W in the chat if you're watching. Michael Brunell. Hey, we did get a shout out on Sleepers not long ago from Mr. Craig. So, Mr. Craig, if you're checking it out, which now we know that they are watching. I mean, hey, thanks for the shout out, guys.
Yeah, it was
the
nice.
more
And I wasn't hating on sleepers there. They're different than us. So, me personally, like I watch sleepers. I know some people do, some people don't. I think that they put out entertaining content. I don't listen to them for Purdue takes because like they're not Purdue people. They had Braden for a while, that's gone. So like they don't have intel into the mind of Purdue fans because they aren't Purdue fans. So like I can't and now, one of them won a national title. So I'm sure I just can't deal with that. I don't want to do it. But yeah, I appreciate, them shouting us out on the pod, on their pod that they did. And that was a good show too. So no hate their way. I appreciate, anybody who
anything
covers Purdue,
Craig's on.
anything Craig does, anybody who covers
Yeah.
Purdue. I mean, it's having a podcast. Like we just saw another one popped up. There's so many of them, and we've been lucky enough to kind of move into like the top 5 or 6 of them, and in our own way, in our own space. And we've kind of went more into these live ones. It sucks when the show disconnects and you lose your entire chat and everybody that was watching, but you got to kind of roll with the punches sometimes. And
we like hanging out with you guys live, keeping the chat rolling. It keeps it interesting for us, and we get to interact with you like personally. And as like we move, we've had people. If you're new here, we have like our homies on the podcast. So if you're in the chat going off like Michael, someday you want to be on the pod, come
Let us
on.
know. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we've had Big Jeff, we've had Rickus on,
Blake's
Cody.
been on a bunch.
Yeah. So that's what we do. We keeps it real on Double D's. Is there anything else we need to dive into segment wise? Anything chat you guys want to talk about while we're in here? Hopefully we can get back within a couple weeks. But I don't know. What is there to talk about in June?
A lot of it depends on like, I do want to have like, at some point, like a full episode on like where we just truly go one by one and break down the newcomers. And things like that. But I think for us, like we're not going to go out of our way, like he just mentioned, read Brian Newbert articles and react to them. Like we're not going to do that stuff. Like there's people that already do that. Like when there's news, we will come on and we will talk about it like this. We had to kind of wait for there to be enough news. We could have came on right after Isaiah Hill, but Dalton obviously has a little bit of an in there. So we were kind of hoping to get him on the pod just to be able to, and if you weren't watching the first segment of this, it sounds like we might be getting him on the pod. So that'll be cool. Like that's what we want to do. We want to bring you guys content that's like new, that's not like reacting to something somebody else did. Like that's fine, but we just would prefer to kind of talk about what's real and not kind of come up with theories and theorize about things that we're just trying to make something out of nothing, mountain out of a molehill type of situation. But we love talking to you guys getting on here. I wish this wouldn't have broken up because we were getting some momentum there in that first segment and had, quite a few people in here talking and whatnot. And then,
sounds like Isaiah's a lock though.
Yeah.
Mark called me about it because I've been talking to him for a few weeks about it. And like, I mean, as soon as I'm not trying to be Brian Newbert, but I've literally known about Isaiah. I don't know. When did I start talking about it?
Like months ago, 6 months ago.
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
but
I remember we got into an argument about it.
I don't like that, bro. I don't like all those dudes that are like, I had it first. Like Joe Tipton steals people's content. Like, I don't need to do that. Like, it's cool. I was stoked that Mark was like, yeah, Isaiah's going to Purdue. He loves Purdue. His mom loves Purdue. He wants to be close to home. Louisville threw the bag at him, but it wasn't enough. So, like, that's cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I trickle fed that to my inner circle. So, but that's not my prerogative. And when the insider info runs out, guess who's still going to be here? The real ones. because
Absolutely.
you don't always have ties into everything. So
Yeah. Yeah, Dalton patted himself on the back really hard.
exactly.
No, I mean, but it's true though. Like last year, we kind of learned because I had a little bit of an in, and we had a lot of early information, and it just got stolen by everybody, and everybody acted like we were crazy when we announced it, and like then somebody else would a week later and it'd be like, oh, breaking news. Like it's not breaking news. Like I've said this for a while. Like weird. I knew Braden was going to win the koozie a week before it ever happened because somebody that I know knows his grandpa, and it's just a whole thing. Like, but the point is, like, we're not going to come on a podcast and break news that's not necessarily our news to break. But I think if you watch us long enough, you know when we know something, and you know when we're just hypothesizing about something. And I think we said in a couple podcasts ago, like we were pretty positive Hill was coming to Purdue. Savage is one that again I'm not positive, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you I am.
Same with Alston. I think Alston's out the door, so it's like, yeah, I mean, you can kind of get vibes on it. Savage is a real toss-up for me, to be honest with you. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't personally. We have 0 seniors other than Pierce, who's a transfer. I don't know that we need an insane recruiting class. Like, let these guys develop. Let them get some time next year. Pick up maybe one more guy and then grab somebody in the portal. Because you got to think, like, say nobody leaves next year. We have 1 open spot. I mean, like, and there's a world where Pierce could come back because they're going to change this to 5-5, and he didn't play for an entire year. I don't know how that works. But it'll be interesting. I want to try to focus. You know, we had to have this obviously to talk about Hill, and if somebody else commits, we will too. But my focus is kind of like there's so many unknowns coming up on this next season that's kind of where my head's at is focusing on these guys that are for sure coming here. Yeah, I saw that too.
yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Why would he want to go home when he can stay in the States and train with the best and stay with PJ essentially all summer and work with PJ to get to where he needs to be? Because I know we're all Omer fans here, but that dude has a lot of work to put in. Like what we saw last year as a freshman coming from European pros, there is a jump that needs to happen for him as well as DJ. 2 players that'll make or break our season is DJ and Omer, whether they make that jump.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you one thing, CJ is going to score this year. Ertl's going to handle the ball this year. He's going to play defense this year. But our season rests on the back of Kaden Pierce. Is he ready for the Big Ten? And have Omer and DJ made the jump?
Yeah. And there's some weird stuff going on with international right now on eligibility for some of these. Like they're trying to backdate some. I don't know. It's getting weird.
You see Will Wade?
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you, like, what is your thoughts on the LSU situation?
What can we do?
That's my theory. People are hating on Will Wade. It's like, okay, then make rules. Like,
I mean,
how are you going to blame a guy because you have a really, sorry about my language, fucked up system and you haven't made any rules?
It's so from a morality college basketball fan standpoint, it's absolutely destructive to the sport and it's asinine to do. Would I do it in his position? No, I wouldn't. Because there's going to be legal battles all over the place. But if you're a shiesty piece of shit coach like Will Wade is, then you're going to push every boundary and you're going to find out what you can get away with. But we saw it last year where the courts kind of ruled against, dude from Alabama.
Yeah.
But Nanji got to play. He was terrible, but he got to play. So, I don't know. It's the Wild West. It sucks for the sport.
Nobody expected Will Wade didn't follow the rules when there were rules. So when you take away the rules, what do you think is going to happen with a guy like that? Like he's going to he's going to push him. And this was always going to happen. If it wasn't Will Wade, it would have been someone else. Somebody was going to go, you know what? Screw it. If you're not going to make rules, I'm going to push it as far as I can. Like, there will be somebody before this is all said and done, I would guess, that will get a legitimate NBA player to come back to school. Like, there's no age limits. Like, Purdue could legitimately go, okay, Jaden Ivey's lost his mind. Let's bring him back to Purdue. He should have eligibility left, right? I mean,
all a judge has to do is rule in his favor.
Yeah.
And say that he has a restraining order. Now, I don't know how that would hold up outside of Indiana playing.
Yeah, it's
like,
weird.
I don't think he could travel, but I think for home games, Jaden Ivey in the starting lineup, baby.
Let's go. Bring Edie back too. All right. Yeah. Obviously, real quick, just wanted to hit on NBA Finals is getting ready to be set once these. Looks like New York's probably going to beat Cleveland. If you do want to watch a good series of basketball, like, I think the real NBA Finals is happening right now between the Spurs and Thunder. Wemby is the craziest player I've ever seen play basketball. He had 41 and 24 in game one. Like, he's just a psychopath. And I think he hates Chet Holmgren, so I'm aligned there. I'm not a big Chet Holmgren guy, and he also hates Shea, and I hate Shea. So,
did you see that game that betting thing came out with?
Oh yeah.
Unethical hoops.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It is funny. It is very funny. But yeah, that's a good series going on. Siwoo Kim in golf today had a putt to break 60. Had a putt at 59, missed it. Playing with Scotty Scheffler and Brooks Koepka too. So playing with 9 major titles, and he outplayed both of them, which was pretty cool.
What up, Fuller? Chris? What's up, Chris Fuller?
If this is actually Chris that approves credentials at Purdue, please approve us. Omer is not staying at Purdue during the summer. He's in California with his agent training. Yeah, I think that's the point, was he's staying here and not going back to Israel. But yeah, no, I totally understand. And what up, Chris Fuller? I don't think I've ever seen you in the chat before. So appreciate you coming in here, not only in our chat, but also correcting Rickest. That's always a good thing to do. Is Rickest.
Somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to do it, or else he'll just keep going and correcting other people. And we can't allow things like that to happen. So thank you, Chris.
Cavs should have won game 1. Yeah. I mean, Cavs have a shot, but never say never in the NBA. Let's talk about that weird thing where dude from the Spurs was trying to come back on the court, Harper, was trying to come back on the court, and you quickly see 2 gentlemen grab him and escort him back to the locker room. What was it?
It was not FanDuel, I'll tell you that. The people who were like, that's FanDuel. No, that's crazy.
Can you confirm that?
I don't know. If you ask ChatGPT, it'll tell you it wasn't.
Oh.
No, I don't know. There's no way it was FanDuel. Like, they don't just have FanDuel guys running around. I think it was probably like he came back out for something, and they were like, no, we got it. But either way, I mean, fixing in the NBA is not something I think is not happening. So I'm all for it. I say fix it. Make the NBA like the WWE. Script the games, but make them more entertaining, because right now they're scripted and unentertaining. So just make every game come down to a half quarter to win.
It's just a bad brand of basketball, dude.
It sucks. And now it even sucks. It used to be like it would get flipped in the playoffs. It sucks still.
Yeah.
Like, it still sucks.
I turned it on like 2 nights, and I was like, I was sitting with Kayla, and I was like, man, yeah, I love the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, I'm wearing an Indiana Pacers hat. I was watching the Spurs actually play, and I was like, dude, this fucking sucks.
Yeah. Chris, we did talk about this in the first podcast. Our podcast got split in half. So hopefully after this, they will both pop up. So if you did miss the first portion, we did go through a lot of this stuff. But yeah, Savage, we kind of said, somebody said Kemba Walker. I think that was fun. Willie Dean's a good one. I think he's just a killer, and I think he wants all the smoke. And I think if he's going to come to Purdue, he's got to be that way, because he's not going to get a spot. Like, next year, you're dealing with 2 senior guards, a junior, potentially, if Omer stays, a junior guard, a redshirt sophomore guard, another sophomore. Like, you got a line to get through if you want to be in the starting lineup. Yeah, Chris, thanks for saying that. And subscribe if you haven't already, of course.
Is it still up, bro?
It's not up currently, but I'm thinking, remember, like, it won't pop up until we close this session because this is the same
Okay.
session.
Yeah, I'm hoping the
Hopefully.
first half goes with it. So
I did see
if
when
not,
I started this one, it said it saved the old one.
okay.
So you may have to actually squash them together and post it as a video, but we kind of eliminated that with some of the live stuff. But yeah, we did talk about a lot of the early on Isaiah Hill and Chris. It looks like we're gonna have Isaiah Hill on the show at some point here.
Yep.
We actually took a phone call. Dalton did in the middle of this with somebody that has an in there that talked to him, and it looks like that's gonna happen. So that'll be cool. Luke is a beast. 100% agree. Luke's a dangerous fella. Yeah, I think like my problem with the NBA is simply this: the game is either a blowout or a free throw shooting contest. And I watched some highlights the other day. Somebody showed highlights of the when Hack-a-Shaq started, and in that game, that was the most beautiful brand. Like this guy, people are like, "Who's the greatest player ever?" Shaquille O'Neal is the greatest player ever.
Right.
Like, if you go watch those games, this guy had Kobe on his team, and it didn't look like Kobe even mattered. Like, you gave Shaq the ball, he turned around, he slammed on head. Like, it was incredible.
Right.
I don't know. I watched that, and I was like, man, I haven't watched anything with Shaq in forever, and it was really cool to see. So enough about the NBA. The NBA sucks. NHL playoffs is on though. It's the greatest thing you can watch in sports is the hockey playoffs. So check that out if you don't normally watch that. And yeah, we played some golf today. Dalton and my son played as a team. Still lost to me. Sorry about your
One
luck.
stroke, folks.
Dude, I mean, it is
and
what it is.
Derek says Derek's a 2 handicap.
I played horrible today. It was bad. Gave him a chance. It's on me. It's on me. It's on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd like to try to have more podcasts, but I need Purdue to just do some more stuff. Come on, Purdue Twitter, post me some content or something.
Yeah. Give us a video to talk about or something.
I need it. Oh, let's talk real quick. How bad did the Pacers get screwed out of the NBA draft?
Oh man, it's such absolute. I don't like to curse on here because I don't know who's watching. It's bullshit, dude. Bullshit. Like, so their draft pick is traded away, 5 to 9?
Yep. They get 5.
And they somehow get the 5th pick.
My problem with the whole NBA draft, and I didn't even know this until this all came out, there's nobody watching the process happen. They don't draw ping pong balls.
Yeah, they do.
They don't show it.
It's posted.
This is not live done in front of people, though.
I'm dead serious. It is.
It is not.
Okay, you can go on YouTube and watch it right now.
You can watch the NBA draft ping pong balls live in front of people.
Yes. Not in front of people.
Yeah, so it can be completely rigged.
Well, I mean, what can't be?
It's fair. Draft.
I mean,
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, it's posted. Somebody shared the link on Twitter. Yeah, they recorded. Don't want to talk about it, bro.
All right, whatever. Don't want to talk about it either. I don't know. I was just really... Anyway, I'm mad about the whole situation. How did the Pacers continue to get screwed? Never had
Small market.
Never had a number 1 pick ever.
Yeah. It's tragic because they really pissed the season away this year. Yeah. I went to a game and sat like really good seats from my work. Shout out to Milestone Contractors for hooking us up. But we had a good time, and but they suck. They really suck this year. Like they played the Suns, and Devin Booker just is a flop artist as well. Something else I can't stand about the NBA is like if they clean up the flopping, it would be a better brand of ball right there, right then and there. If you say,
did you see the video of Shea in game 2? Every one of his shots,
17% of his shot attempts, he falls.
17 or 70?
17.
Oh, it's more than that.
No.
I don't know. I watched the last game.
That's from Poly Market.
Every shot in the last game, he acted like he got fouled. Every shot.
Yeah.
And he's got Stephon Castle guarding him. And Stephon Castle's probably like a little...
Stephon Castle is one of the best defenders in the NBA.
Yeah. And
mean,
just because, like, if you breathe on him, he will. I don't want. I'm done talking about the NBA. I just get madder and madder every time I talk about the NBA. It
I'm
drives
gonna
me
go
insane.
play some NBA after this with your son.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him he's grounded from his video games.
Dude, don't
I
do
told him.
that
I
to
said the
me.
other day. I said no. I said today to Megan. I said, "You think this is ever gonna become like a problem with Dalton's wife? Like, oh, you're playing fucking video games with a 10-year-old?
No. No, because I would be playing it by myself if Jameson didn't hit me up every time I logged on the internet.
Just like immediate. Boop.
Yeah, he
And
does.
then you just get to listen to him be like, "You got sliders? You got sliders? Oh, why
Yeah.
you cheater?"
Yeah.
Calls everybody
You
a cheater if they beat him.
He
If
called
you
me a
beat him,
cheater today because I hit like 3 threes in a row, dude. I got a terrible build, so.
oh
But,
my god.
yeah, we have
Anyway,
fun.
all right. Well,
have a
hey,
good
we
time.
appreciate everybody. Hopefully, we get these combined somehow. Appreciate everybody who's watched. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll obviously keep you updated as we try to. We'll try to give a little more notice on the next show. I know we didn't give a ton on this one, and then obviously with the clusterfuck in the middle, kind of threw it off a little bit. But we do appreciate everybody, and obviously we appreciate Rickus. We appreciate Rickus the most because he says Dalton Epstein, Dalton Island, release the Dalton files, and he's always in the chat, man. And we do love you, Rickus. And I'm sorry today that when you were texting me about the Cubs game, I let you continue to pretend like I wasn't watching it when I was, and you kept narrating it to me, and I was watching the game. And I'm sorry about that, but I love you. Cole Kelly, 2028. What's that mean? What's that mean, Chris?
He is from Neuqua Valley, small forward, 6'6", 185 pounds, from Naperville, Illinois. He is cold on Purdue right now.
Well, what's
He
Chris
is
Fuller
being
now?
recruited by Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, and Purdue.
What's Chris? What do you know, Chris Fuller?
We offered him on May 19th, 2026. Brand new offer. Creighton has an offer on the table. St. Louis, Northwestern, and Iowa. Let's see who the first to offer was. Illinois, October 13th, 2024.
Okay. I can dig it.
6'6", shooting forward. Class of 28, 4-star 98. 0.56, nationally ranked 41st, shooting forward 16th, small forward, whatever you call it. Illinois, he is this number 2 recruit for 28.
Interesting.
There's the
I'll take it.
facts on. Yeah.
I think Chris Fuller's got inside information. I'm not going to try to pry it out of you anymore.
Chris Fuller, call us.
Call us. Hit me up on the telly or
Call me.
on the chat. All right, thanks,
I'll send
guys.
you my Snapchat, dude.
Yeah, send him a snap. Snap him.
Send me a snap, dog.
Nothing dirty though. None of that dirty shit.
He's a dude. Send that too. Whatever.
Yeah, send Dalton all the Snapchats of dudes.
I'll clown your ass quick, too.
We turned this into.
I'll clown you.
We went to some bad language at the end of this podcast. So if my son's watching, you know what to expect. So you're welcome.
He's
thank
not.
you guys.
He's playing 2K.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have like 15 unread messages and 3 invites.
He's waiting on me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll try to have another episode the next week or so. We'll see how that works out. But appreciate everybody, and boiler up as always.
Boiler up, folks. See you later.
Peace out.